So today we're going to talk about Michaela Pink. We're going to talk about what she's charged with, who she is, and what lessons we need to learn going forward. So, Mickey Fox, or better known as Michaela Pink, is a YouTuber, and she basically tells women how to level up. She tells women how to scam men, wealthy men. She tells women how to basically do anything and everything to get a man with money. She considers herself to be a dating expert. She is a 40-year-old woman that has 3 boys, and she is divorced from her husband. Now, her husband had cancer, and she made fun of him and his cancer once the divorce was finalized. Yes, she made fun of her husband having cancer, or ex-husband at that point, during a live when she told her audience that she was officially divorced. And Sheree was I think she was in the chat at that time. And she said something along the lines of, at this point he could just die and Sheree could embalm him and they could split the life insurance policy. Yes. Well, he is dead now. He died on May the 20th, if I'm not mistaken, 2020. And she had this slow, sad IG live. I just saw a few minutes of it because I couldn't figure out who the person was that she was mourning. And the people in her comments wasn't saying anything, so I didn't know what was going on, so I left. But now looking back over it, it was him. Okay, but back to her. So aside from her having her YouTube gig of telling women how to lie, cheat, steal, and almost kill to get a wealthy man, she had some type of investment company where she scammed people. There's a video, and I'm going to link this lady's video below. She explains how it was her friend's money, but because they were friends, she kind of went along with it. She was supporting her friend, the friend was scammed by Michaela. Michaela is delusional. She's cunning. She's conniving. And overall, she is a manipulative woman. And she's ended up scamming women that didn't research enough. Alright, so what did she do? So she was arrested on February the 10th, 2021. She's facing at least 20 years for her 5 crimes. She was misappropriating funds, and that was between $2,500 and $30,000. She was money laundering, and again, that same thing. It was between $2,500 and $30,000. And finally, there is a theft of property, and it's valued at $2,500 between $30,000. And only on that final charge did she have a bail of $3,000. Yes. The other ones, they didn't have bail. Now, I just I don't know, maybe an hour. It's 2 a.m. now when I'm recording this. So an hour or two ago, I just checked the site again where her mugshot is, and I couldn't pull her up, so I guess she's no longer in jail at this point. But yeah, she was holding down cell block D since the 10th, and there was a warrant, so they actually had to get her. Now, from what I heard another YouTuber say, she said that the way that they caught her was, as I said, they had been searching for her, and she moved from the house that she stayed in. And the one with the background and that little air balloon, yeah, that house. And she moved in order to evade the law. So basically her son stole her car. He stole her car so he could go rob a house. And once the police got involved, and also it was a private investigator involved. And once they started to track it back, they found out where she lived, and that's how they got her. Now I'm going to link this lady's channel below so you can go listen to her entire video. It's a short video. Her name is Spiritual Whistleblower, but she'll be linked below. And again, her name is Spiritual Whistleblower. Well, anyways, since I'm talking about her son, there is a video posted where she brought her oldest son, you know, the one that she bragged about how manly and handsome he is and how he's such a catch. And he's 17, if I'm not mistaken. 16. I really think he's 17 because she would always say how he was almost grown. So I think he's 17. Well, anyways, he was on camera. She, for whatever reason, brought him on camera, and he said that he didn't like black women. He didn't like the black girls at his school because they're hood and they're ghetto and they don't wear makeup, and he just didn't like them. And he went on to say that he wanted a white or a Latina woman because they're more feminine and they wear makeup. So what does that tell you? Let's just think for a second. She's feminine. She wears makeup. What does that tell you if your son does not want you, even though you're telling women how to get men? She has on 10 pounds of makeup all the time. She has on 6-inch lashes all of the time. Her lips are always painted. She always has a beat face. Well, to the best of her ability, right? Why can't this boy overlook the girls at his school and say, well, I just don't want those black girls? So what is she teaching him? And she laughed at it, and the way that she act like, oh, this boy's crazy, but you could tell that she enjoyed that. She liked it, and I thought that was kind of foolish. But then I thought back. I remember in multiple videos, that's why I was surprised at his mannerisms and how he looked, because she always bragged on him. She would say how she would never allow her son to date one of those nappy-headed girls that went to his school. She would not allow her son to date those girls that didn't wear makeup. And if I come across that video, I'm going to link it down below as well. But I want you to look at the video, and I want you to come to your own conclusions about that entire thing. So, let's not forget she's been arrested in her past. Yes, you should be looking at the mugshot as we speak. So when this was exposed, basically she blamed some man that she was dating at the time, and she claimed that basically he was doing the crimes, but she was with him, so she was kind of caught up in his mess. I guess it was like a guilty by association type situation. I wonder which man she's going to blame now. Or will she blame those women that she scammed? Guess we'll see soon. So there's a YouTuber by the name of Naked Truth by Annette's World Views. And she said that she scammed her friend of 15,000 pounds 2 years ago because she claimed that she was going to help her get her investment property in Texas. And they believed her because she sold herself well enough. So they trusted her. And they ended up going to Houston. And they never saw a property. They never saw the money again. And I think aside from that first time that they saw Michaela, they never saw Michaela again. And she ended up blocking that woman. Yes, this woman gave her 15,000 pounds. And Michaela snatched that money and ran. And in American dollars, 15,000 pounds is $20,934.90. Well, not too much later after that, she had surgery. She had a mommy makeover. I know she got implants. I know that. But I really do think she had lipo too. I think it was a whole package. And somebody said that she claimed that an African gave her $10,000. Now, If that's the truth, she contradicted herself. Because one day there was a live and it was questioned about what type of men like you, or something about Africans came up, and she said Africans really aren't attracted to her. It's usually white men. But I'm gonna go into that a little bit deeper. So that was a lie about the 10K. And yeah, she's been a criminal, a thief, and a liar. So based on what she tells her followers to do, it's clear. And I'm going to get into what she tells her followers to do. So we're going to talk about how she got started on YouTube and her many contradictions. So she got started on YouTube because her and Shirey7 are friends, or were friends. And they lived down the street from each other. And basically she saw what Shirey was doing. And she decided that she wanted to do the same thing. One day they had a live. They were, if I'm not mistaken, they were on StreamYard, or I don't think Shirey was actually there. I don't think she was. But you heard her talking. And she went into detail about how she didn't know anything about makeup. She wasn't glamorous. She didn't wear makeup at all. She just lived life the way most of the women that came to her for advice lived. Just natural women. Yes, some of the same women that don't wear makeup, the same women that don't necessarily dress the way that she tells them to dress, the same women that come to her lives, super chatter, give her a click and a view, support her, she was in the same boat. And instead of her being transparent and being empathetic because she was once there, she talks down to them. Those women sit up day after day for 2 and 3 hour lives, allowing her to talk down to them, when she's told you that she came from where you came from. She, no disrespect to the dead, but she was married to a Dusty. Yes. But yet she's looking down her nose at you. So basically, back to the story. They went to Sephora one day, and Shirey picked out hundreds of dollars worth of makeup because Michaela didn't know anything about makeup. And she sat back and she applied. She learned how to do her makeup, and she watched what Shirey did on YouTube, and she created her own YouTube persona. However, as we know, no good deed goes unpunished. So her and Shirey are not friends anymore. It just is what it is. At one point they were so cool and so close, and then no. Anytime Shirey was live and people would say that, hey, she's live, she would, well, go over there. Why are you over here? I don't want to know anything that she's doing. That's not how you talk about your friend, is it? It's not how I talk about my friends. Well, anyways, she shaded Shirey. She shades her having an old husband. She also alluded to the fact that when you get on certain people's level, they don't like you anymore and they begin to act funny with you. She said that when they meet you and you weren't pretty or you weren't together, they loved you because they were the one that was pretty. They were the one that, didn't have any competition. They kind of looked down on you. You were like the little pet or the project. But once you get to be where they are, and once you succeeded, they stop talking to you. And that had to have been Shirey she was talking to. I mean, it had to have been. So if you watch some of her videos from the beginning like I did, and if they're still up, you'll see that she did not have that nasty attitude in the beginning. It slowly developed. The more people listened to her, the more people tuned into her, the more attention she got, the more that she could live in the delusion of who she's always wanted to be. But she didn't have the looks to do it. She wasn't thin the way she tells everybody to lose weight. She didn't have the outer aesthetic to be that nasty bitch that we know she is. And If you didn't know any better, you would think that she always had it together. You would think that she's always been, the way she tries to be glamorous, you would have thought that was a lifelong thing, but absolutely not. Absolutely not. You would have thought that she had a go-getter mentality when it came to men, but nope. Mm-mm. Because like I said, the husband was a dusty. She's talked about how she's always chased after men. According to her, she went to jail behind a man and his shenanigans. So that's showing you what she's getting over and over and over. So essentially, in my opinion, according to my diagnosis, I think she has an inferiority complex. Um, she also alluded to the fact that she was married to a man that cheated on her multiple times, and when people started to find out about the affairs, that's when it became too much for her. And that's when I guess when she separated from him, that's when she started the whole sugar baby thing. So that's that. um oh yes, I remember one time she was close to either 2,000 or 3,000 subscribers, and there was some type of little watch party. It was like, I'm almost here. And she was telling people, if you haven't subscribe now. Tell everybody to subscribe. Go get your family members phones and subscribe. And she made it. She actually made it to that, whatever that number was. And she literally cried. And she said that all of her life, especially when growing up, people would tell her to be quiet. People told her that she talked too much. People told her that she didn't know what she was talking about. And she went on to tell how it felt good to finally be listened to. And that's why I say, if you follow me on Twitter, you will see I have said over and over and over, you can be anybody that you want to be online. You can create any persona online. Please don't drink the Kool-Aid. Or if you have, don't do it again. Okay? Look at people's patterns and behaviors. Do not just take people's word for it. I can tell you I'm sitting in a castle right now. Please don't. Don't believe that. Okay? Another example would be one day during one of her 3 or 4 hour lives, there was a girl that asked a question about whatever. I don't remember the question. And she said, I don't understand. How do you all not know these things? My dad taught me all of these things. And if you watch her enough, you'll know that she speaks about her father highly. And she didn't like her mother because she said that her mother was jealous of her. And she said that her mother didn't let her be feminine. And she said that her mother was, I said she was jealous of her. But then she went on to basically say that her father was her knight in shining armor. Basically, she got away from the mother and the father saved her. He saved her from a life of basically what she's doing now, which is scamming. So now, not so long after she talked about her father, she said that if she didn't have a father in her life, she would have been a stripper. Now, this is no shade to strippers. I love me a good stripper vlog. This is no shade to those girls. But I want you to ask yourself, what type of mentality or what type of person are you if you know right away that if you didn't have your father in your life, you would have been on a pole? Just dig a little bit deeper with that question. Ask yourself, if she had her father in her life, which she did, and he was everything that she said he was, if she's scamming today and she had him, what would she have done without him? If you turned out to be a mess and you had somebody that was stable in your life, what type of product would you have been without him? To me, that spoke volumes. If you knew right away that, yep, if I didn't have this man in my life, I would be a stripper. Hmm. Okay, so moving on. So she said a lot of problematic things. For example, she told there was a girl who asked her, should she go to medical school, because that was her goal. I think she was just had a bachelor's at that point, but she was planning on being in the she was in the medical program, and she was planning on applying to medical school. She was on that track, and she said that no. She said if it was her, she wouldn't. She said that she should find a man, she should get pregnant, and she should get child support. She told the woman that she should lie about a pregnancy and get money for an abortion. She said that no woman should walk out of the house without wearing lashes, no matter what they're doing. Yeah. She talks about how abhorrent natural hair is. She talks down on anything that's black. But remember, I told you what that son thinks. So yeah, I think she's just anti-black, honestly. She basically said that if you're trying to attract a white man, you need to assimilate with whiteness. You need to, so basically, white men like white women. So if you want to attract a white man, what you need to do is look as close as possible to a white woman, which is what he's attracted to. You understand what I'm saying? Yeah, that's what she said. But yeah, back to the point. She talks down on anything that's remotely black. No natural hair, no braids, no twists, no twist outs, no afros, no short hair. She always talks about how ugly short hair is. Yeah. She went on to say in another live that if she was young, if she could do it all over again, if she was 21, she would have never gone to school, and she would have been focused on men, focused on getting wealthy men. She suggests that all young girls focus on keeping their body up and getting a man. She said, why waste time in school when you should let him go to school? You let him earn the money and you spend the money. So you don't have anything, you don't have any formal education aside from a high school diploma. You go around searching for a man, find a man that's earned something. You have nothing. Your claim to fame is being his woman, and that's just your way in life. Yeah. Based on my opinion, I think she is living a miserable, code switching, man pleasing, thieving life. She was talking about herself one time, and she said no matter what the man wants, you need to conform to his demands. So she went on to talk about how one of her sugar daddies, he likes long hair. So she would always wear her long wigs with him. And she went on to say that there was another man and he liked short hair, and she would wear her short wigs with him. So anything these men want, she has to conform to that. How uncomfortable could that be? You can't ever do what you want. It's always to please him. And you're not exclusive with him. This is just there's no telling. We know she's a liar, so she say that she don't sleep with the man, but can't put nothing past a thief and a liar. Something else that bothers me, she encourages women to go out and freestyle alone. Now, if you don't know what freestyling is, it's basically when you go out and you try to pick up a man. That's it. You go out, you look nice, so you probably wear something tight and short. And you sit alone at a bar or wherever the rich men are. You go to their areas and you try to attract them, but you're alone. So, and they know you're alone. And you flirt and do all of whatever to get their attention. And you pray that they are attracted to you and they approach you, and you just stare them down until you catch their eye. If you dig through one of, I think, Sheree's videos, you'll see where she was his third wheel with Sheree and James. James is her husband. And there was this older black man. He had to have been like God, 70, at least 70. And he had on a suit, and I don't know where they were at, but they were all dressed nice. And she was just smiling, and she was touching his suit, and it looked crazy to me. Yeah, that's what freestyling is. But back to the point. So when people would ask her, well, isn't it dangerous? What if you get kidnapped? It's common sense. When people would ask her common sense safety questions, she would act like it was just so annoying to her. And she would snap at them and say that they need to stop being so scary, and they need to live life, and nothing's going to happen to them. And if they get kidnapped, so what? Yes, you heard me. So during any conversation, anytime somebody would ask about safety or express some type of reservation about being alone or being snatched or killed or trafficked, she would always dismiss them. And that alone should let you know that she does not care about you. And she does not care about black women. Her audience is primarily black women. And we all know the rates of sex trafficking, and we all know that black women are the targets typically. Always look at it. I said this before. Please look at a person's patterns and behaviors. Listen to everything that they say. Don't just listen for what you want to hear. Listen to everything. Listen for the contradictions. Listen for the lies. Listen. Use common sense. So after she got divorced, she then popped up with a ring. Not too long later, I don't know, maybe a month, I don't know. But she popped up with a ring, and she claimed that she was engaged to some man. So first she told a story about she went to this gathering, and there was an old retired football player, and how attractive he was, and how he would try to catch. She saw him first, but she ignored him, played hard to get. And he approached her, and she acted like, oh my God, what do you want? She acted annoyed, and she ended up exchanging numbers with him. And he was supposed to take her out for her birthday, and he was going to fly her somewhere. Well, it shouldn't be shocking to know that she never spoke about that again. She hoped that he was going to take her to Rodeo Drive, because that's where she always wanted to go. And literally, she never said anything else about it. You didn't see any pictures. You didn't hear any stories. Nothing. Just one day she was so excited about this man, bragging about this man, and nothing. So she's even gone as far as going to a bridal shop and trying on a wedding dress. But she still don't talk about this wedding. Now, I've read a couple of places where she said she was married to a millionaire. Patterns and behaviors, okay? Trust me. If she was married, she would have shown you something other than just randomly walking into a bridal shop and trying on a dress, taking a picture in a dress. Anybody can get a ring. She could have bought that ring after the divorce. Could have scammed another woman and bought it then. Could have been something she stole off of somebody. You don't know. She is the type of person that will brag, and if she can show you, she will show you. And the fact that you've heard nothing, absolutely nothing, I don't believe. And where was the husband at when she was in jail? Who kept them kids? Remember, the husband is dead. Her ex-husband, at least, he's dead. I saw several people saying, oh, well, I hope the father can take the children. Now, her first son, the oldest one that don't like black girls, he has a different father from the other two. So, I don't know if that first father took all three of them in. Remember, she don't like her mom, and I don't know if she's alive. I know her father is dead. So your ex-husband is dead. Your father is dead. You're Shade and She-Ray. Where your kids at? Anybody know? Yeah. And here's another question for you. So she's always talking about how pretty and gorgeous and attractive she is. And she always have all these sugar daddies. She even went on a radio station at the tender age of 38 talking about being a sugar daddy, a sugar baby, I'm sorry. Why didn't any of those white men, because they're white, why didn't any of them pull some strings to bail her out? She liked to talk about old money and what type of men who are old money, what they like and how they move around. Nobody could pull a string with a judge. Nothing. Oh, okay. Moving on. I'm almost done, I promise you. Oh yes. So at this point, I'm sure you're wondering, what type of man does she want, or what type of man does she get? Now I tell you, because she said it. The ugly ones. She's always talked about not liking old men, but according to her words, that is absolutely a lie. One day in her life, some girl asked her, how do you get a man? Or if the ones you like don't like you, then what are you supposed to do? And she just like, in a second, a half of a second, she said, oh, just get the ugly ones. Just get the ugly ones. She can only get old, unattractive white men. And I think those men like black women. And she is pushy. I think she's demanding. She's very flirtatious. By any means necessary. She'll get what she wants. And I think she goes up touching on them and flirting and showing those big teeth. And she's in their face, and they're not attractive, and they've been married for 80 years. So this is something new and exciting for them. So yeah, that's what's going on. She's not, come on, honey. No, man. No. I remember ages ago when she was offering her little Pink Print Academy, she would have you to sign a contract, and basically it said that she can charge you for anything from consulting fees and classes and everything else that she ordered in the package. And what she would do is she would tell you, okay, so I'm going to offer this package, and you can watch these videos anytime that you want to watch these videos. And she would end up charging you, and then a month later you would be charged. And she had a Facebook group. She still have it. And she would kick those girls out. She would just give them the boot. There are many stories on her and what she's done in those groups over the years. And she will charge you a cancellation fee. So you'll join the thing, you'll watch a couple of videos, then she'll come out with like a new program where you need to join something else. It's not included in that original contract that you signed. She's still taking money out. Some of them still joined the other group to get the other information. So you scam twice. Plus, when you tried to cancel it, she charged you like $215. So, and if she kicked you out of the group, or if you got mad and left, she wouldn't communicate with you. And she, of course, would blame it on her team, which was her. So you still being billed. Yes. And here comes the common sense part. She has not shown proof of anything beside her face, her lies, and her delusions. That is it. That is absolutely it. She said she was getting married. Where's the proof? Where's a wedding cake? Where you don't even have to show his face. Show proof. Show a piece of marriage certificate. Show something. Nothing. Do not fall for these people's scams and lies. She's shared before. I remember once upon a time, it was pictures out here floating around of her after she would consult with women. There were these before and after pictures, and these women were just average black women, just average, literally. And they literally went from wearing no makeup and maybe natural hair, maybe just average looking women. And then she would show a picture of them with just lipstick on, no liner, no nothing, lipstick on, foundation not quite matching, a wig that looked atrocious, and that was her claim to fame. That was it. No internal work, no mental work, no shadow work, nothing. Just slap you on a wig and find some foundation, smear it on, put on some lipstick, and go out there and good luck. That's sad. You know, but because she's lost weight and she's gotten big veneers and she went to the beauty supply store and bought wigs and put them on straight out of the pack, then she feels like she's qualified to share tips with her audience. Okay, so if you're still listening at this point, I thank you so much. I didn't mean for this live, this is not a live, I didn't mean for this video to be so long, but yeah, I had to break this down. This is the last little topic and I'll be done. The lesson to be learned. So if somebody can teach you how to lie and cheat and scam others day in and day out, what makes you think that they're not doing the same thing to you? She don't know you any more than she knows those men. You're no more valuable to her than those men were valuable to her. The end goal was money. That's it. So if a woman can tell you to purposely get pregnant by a man that she's not married to in order to get child support, there's something wrong. There's something wrong and you need to run. She advised women to get pregnant without the thought of who the man is, what his family's health history is like, how much access he has to attorneys, if he's married, if he wants children, what's his background, or anything relatively using common sense. Think about this, if he's wealthy, or if he's financially comfortable, if he has more money than you, he can afford lawyers. So if he can afford lawyers, he can jerk you around when it comes to child support. He can negotiate it almost to nothing. You don't know how he can hide his money. He could use his power to take the child away from you. Or what if a child has a health defect where all of that child support that she's thirsting after have to go to that child? So for the rest of your life, you have to take care of a handicapped child. None of that came into mind. That's just what type of person she is. And she constantly talks about wanting a daughter and how she would, purposely get pregnant by some man just to get child support. Yeah. This woman sat she sat online for hours on end answering random questions. What in the world could she teach you that she hasn't told you right there day in and day out? Some days she'll go live multiple times. I don't know what month this was last year, but I kid you not, she was doing 3 to 4 videos a day. She would do like a pre-recorded video, then she would come live and kind of discuss what she discussed in the pre-recorded video, and then she would come live at night. So I guess the money was slow at that point, but yes. You have to use common sense. Remember, a fool and their money will be parted quickly. If you see someone is giving away something free, the information free all day, why would you pay for anything else? Now, I understand if this person helps you and you want to just donate out of the kindness of your heart, but I'm talking about somebody's charging for a fee. Like, what? No, baby, no. Let me say this. I don't know what direction my channel may go in. I don't know how many videos I'll make during the life of this channel. But what I will say is this. There is nothing that I can tell you for a fee that I can't tell you for free. There is nothing I can say or I can sell you that I haven't already said. I will either say it on YouTube or I'll say it on Twitter. But either way, it will be said for free. Free of charge. Please think wisely before you give your money to these people. Even more important than money is your time. The time that you'll never get back. Make sure you know where your energy is going. Make sure you know what you're consuming. These women who preach, they come on here to level up They come on here preaching these level up messages, but they're saying these same old tired lines over and over, and then they're going to eventually charge you. That is how they level up. You are the level up. You are the game. You are the one that's leveling them up, not men. Which of these level up girls can show you what they've gotten? I'm not saying there's none out there. I haven't seen it personally. Let's think about Marjorie and Lori Harvey. And I mention them because I'm going to do a video on this quote unquote mystery surrounding Lori Harvey. But do you see either one of them on YouTube giving advice to how to get wealthy men? There's one video out there where Marjorie was talking to Lori and she gave her some dry advice, but do you really see them sitting online all day long? What Jeff Bezos, the Amazon man, he ended up dating I think he's married to her now, engaged to something, this other woman that basically looks like a spicier version of his wife. You don't see her on here. All of these women that have this jet setting lifestyle, the ones who have these, aesthetics on Instagram, do you see them sitting up day in and day out for hours on end telling you how they got it? So ask yourself, how can you be getting something if you never see it? So before you let these women scam you, look at their patterns and behaviors. Everybody. Vet everybody. Listen to everything. Don't just listen to what you want to hear. Listen to everything. If it seems like it's not right, it's not right. Okay? What do these women really show for their lives? It reminds me of Anna Bay. Or B or Bay. I don't know. If you're familiar with her, the only places that you primarily see her is out dining and standing in front of pretty buildings. That's it. You don't see anything that she owns. She was on a reality show once upon a time, and she tried to deny it, and then she got upset because people saw the pictures. She then went on to tell people in one of her courses that you need to create a new persona. You need to create a new life. So if anybody asks you anything about your background, you need to have that lie memorized and ready to regurgitate. You need to make yourself new. What makes you think she's not doing that to you? Stop paying your money and getting common sense in return. You do not have to jump through hoops to get a man. I promise you, you don't. And lastly, if you were scammed by her or anybody else, try to get your money back through the court system. Don't feel stupid. Don't feel foolish. Just take this as a learning lesson. You lived it. You learned your lesson. Now share what you did with others so they won't do it. So I know this video was super, super long. I finally got it out for the ones that waited on this video. Thank you. Sorry I was a little bit late. But yes, that's who Miss Michaela Pink is. She is a scammer. She has an inferiority complex. She lies. If you want to get more of her real personality, go back to, I don't know if the videos are up, but if you want to, go back to her beginning videos and just see how she wasn't what she is now. And she tells more into her life, little pieces. And you have to, I'm not saying listen to all the videos because I broke down a lot for you, but if you choose to listen to her videos, in each video you're going to get a little piece of who she really is, and a little piece and a little piece. Okay? All right. Thank you.